At about 5:30 p.m. yesterday, Sheikh Hasina had landed at the Hindon airbase just short of the national capital. Because it's been 24 hours and Sheikh Hasina continues to be at the Indian Air Force airbase near Delhi. No clarity yet on what will be her next move. Will she get asylum in the United Kingdom? Because the UK has now refused temporary refuge. Where will Hasina head to next? That's the big question. Belgium is a question which needs to be answered. Will that be where Sheikh Hasina be heading next? But it's been over 24 hours and till now Sheikh Hasina remains in a safe house at an air base near Delhi. It's an Air Force air base, the Hindon air base. No clarity till now on where Sheikh Hasina will be headed next. She wanted to go to the United Kingdom, though her son had refuted these claims. And the UK, meanwhile, has, of course, come in and said they have refused to give her temporary refuge, saying very clearly that Sheikh Hasina should seek immediate refuge in a nearby country. What does it mean for Sheikh Hasina? All of this in the backdrop of Bangladesh plunging into virtual chaos, where over 440 people have died. Minorities now being attacked across the country as well. Word coming in on that front. Well, that's the latest update coming in. Of course, the big question still remains, where will Sheikh Hasina be headed? Earlier on, there were speculations that Sheikh Hasina would be going to London, but UK, at least as temporary refuge, has refused. They've made it very clear that Sheikh Hasina should seek asylum in a nearby country, at least temporarily. All right, okay, so the latest is also, will she now be en route to a different country? And could that country be in Europe? What we have been given to understand that Sheikh Hasina to move out of India in the next 48 hours. There have already been 24 hours while Sheikh Hasina has been very close to the national capital, housed in a safe house at the Hindon Air Base. She might be headed to Europe, is what is being indicated. India to make arrangements for her next journey. These are all source-based information that are coming in thick and fast. Which European country will Sheikh Hasina go to? That's the big question. She has family in Belgium. Will it be Belgium? The United Kingdom has refused to give her asylum as of now and made it very clear that Sheikh Hasina needs to seek asylum in a nearby country, at least temporarily. But India is now going to be stepping in what capacity? What our sources tell us, that India will make arrangements for her next journey. What also coming in all probability, she might be headed to a European nation, and it's the next 48 hours that Sheikh Hasina will leave the Indian soil. Yesterday, in dramatic developments, as things became very, very volatile, Sheikh Hasina flew to India and landed at the Hindon Air Base at 5:30 p.m. and she's been on Indian soil since the last 24 hours. Her son has now made it very clear that Sheikh Hasina is never going to go back to Bangladesh or politically intervene in the going-ons of Bangladesh at all, and that's a big statement coming in for him. But in terms of asylum, where is Sheikh Hasina headed to? We're going to try and get in a larger understanding, try and cut across to our reporters. But right now, what we are showing you is Sheikh Hasina lodged at a safe house at the Hindon Air Base. United Kingdom was one country that Sheikh Hasina had approached, even though her son had said that United Kingdom was not an option. But UK officially has now rejected asylum, where Sheikh Hasina comes into question, making it very clear that Sheikh Hasina needs to look for at least temporary refuge in a nearby country. India, on the other hand, would not be very keen, keeping in mind the current political dynamics as it is. in the subcontinent, especially vis-a-vis what would be the new regime in Bangladesh, would not want Sheikh Hasina to be on Indian soil. And word coming in that India is going to be the one which will make arrangements for Sheikh Hasina to leave India for a European country. What we can tell our viewers that in all probability, Sheikh Hasina is going to be Europe bound in the next 48 hours. My colleague Gaurav Sawant joins us for more. Gaurav, what more can you add?
So there were two options initially. One was United Kingdom. The second was Finland. These were the two countries that were being talked about. Initially, the United Kingdom, there was some hope, but rules in the United Kingdom say, at least that is what sources are quoting, that as soon as an individual reaches the first country where they can remain safe, if they're not safe in their own country of origin, then they should seek shelter in the first country, and that first country in Sheikh Hasina's case is India. But given the fact that India would want good relations with whatever regime comes to power in Bangladesh, you'd recall in multiple instances where there have been either a coup like in Maldives earlier when President Nasheed was ousted, India did not interfere or intervene in any situation. India waited for people in Maldives to come up with a solution and then engaged with whatever government came to power. That is India's well-established policy. So given that situation, and should Sheikh Hasina be a wanted person after 300 people were killed in Bangladesh, India would not want to be in a situation where she would have to be handed over to whatever regime comes to power in Bangladesh. So that's why it's a pit stop for her here in India. And perhaps after refueling, it was the initial thought that she would go to Europe. Now there's a delay, but India will make arrangements for her safe travel to whatever country she's going to, whether it's going to be
these
UK
arrangements that India is going to make, as per our sources, where, what is the fine print of this arrangement? Is India going to now intervene possibly diplomatically, to get passage or asylum for Sheikh Hasina? Is that going to happen? Will India negotiate on her behalf? Or is India just going to make sure that in the next 48 hours, India assists Sheikh Hasina to leave Indian soil to whichever country offers her asylum?
The latter. It is for Sheikh Hasina to make those arrangements, and India will only facilitate her travel to that location, is what sources are telling India today. But there is no 48-hour deadline, so to say. If it takes a little longer for her to get a safer location, because it's not just her immediate stay or her immediate departure. One would also have to see that wherever she goes, she remains safe there. And again, on that count, UK, given the turmoil in the United Kingdom, the rift, and especially with the situation there taking a turn for the worse, that India had to issue an advisory for travellers to UK to be very vigilant. UK may not be the best option. Would it be Finland? Would it be any of the other Nordic countries or elsewhere? That remains to be seen right now.
Gaurav, it's a tightrope diplomatic walk for India, because UK seemingly has rejected asylum, at least temporarily, for Sheikh Hasina. The US also seems to be going on the same pattern. And India, like you also pointed out, would not really want Sheikh Hasina to overstay a diplomatic welcome of sorts, because whatever the regime, like you pointed out, India would want good relationships with. So how does India try and maneuver the situation if Sheikh Hasina is unable, to negotiate passage or asylum in a country of her choice?
So that would actually expose hypocrisy of the West in case someone who fears being persecuted in her own country is unable to find refuge in these European countries or in the United States of America or elsewhere because of all their tall claims of freedom of expression and so on. And in case she's unable to find safe refuge somewhere, it would just show that these countries are, one, either scared, two, hostage to the Islamists in their own country. So it remains to be seen where she's able to find safe refuge and how quickly does that happen.
All right.
But India
I'm going to come right back. Gaurav, I'm going to come right back to you. Joining me right now is my colleague Shivani, who tracks defense, also tracking the latest development where Sheikh Hasina is concerned. Shivani, what are your sources telling you? 48 hours is where India hopes that Sheikh Hasina will get asylum and India will facilitate in that.
Preeti, all the arrangements are being made, and what the sources have now revealed to India today is that Sheikh Hasina would be leaving the country in next 48 hours. She can move towards Europe. She's already in talks with few countries. One is Finland, another is Russia. And India will also be making arrangements for her safe journey towards her next abode, because India cannot manage to provide her a long halt out here. So she will be leaving, and we are right now outside Hindon airbase, where she had landed yesterday. It's more than 24 hours now. And we've also been seeing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's monitoring the whole situation, her coming to India, and then she leaving. All is being monitored, all is being arranged. There are multiple meetings that are happening, multiple arrangements that are going on right now. So the biggest update right now is that she will be leaving India in next 48 hours, and still talks are on to confirm which country it would be.
So 48 hours is what we're looking at, that Sheikh Hasina would be leaving Indian soil. In all probability, the destination is going to be a European country. But which European country? We do understand that Sheikh Hasina has family in Belgium. That would be an option, but we're going to keep an eye on all possible developments. It's been 24 hours, viewers, that Sheikh Hasina has been on Indian soil right now in a safe house at the Hindon Air Base, an Air Force Air Base, very close to the national capital. But quickly taking you through the top developments. Sheikh Hasina remains in India. Her asylum plans in the United Kingdom hit a roadblock with the UK refusing Sheikh Hasina temporary refuge. Meanwhile, India continues to keep a close watch on the Bangladesh crisis as the country is plunged into virtual chaos. While External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar addressed the Parliament on the issue today, he also held a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah in Parliament as India mulls options for Hasina's safe passage. And these are disconcerting images from the aftermath of the violence that unraveled at the Prime Minister's residence in the capital, Dhaka, on Monday. An empty residence looted, vandalized, showing the remnants of destruction. Meanwhile, an uneasy calm prevails in Bangladesh. Over hundreds have died. 440 right now is the official count in protests. But daily life slowly limping back to normalcy in capital Dhaka. Meanwhile, aside from Hindu temples being targeted in Bangladesh, these images of the aftermath of looting and arson at the Indira Gandhi Cultural Center in the capital of Dhaka. And what?